Hello folks, John Cordisco here from Cordisco's Chess Center in upstate New York in Binghamton. Councilman John on ICC and Chessbase here with another great game for you. This is an Immortal Evergreen game. It's also called the Polish Immortal. It's been shown here a few times on YouTube, but I've never seen a live video of it, so I thought I'd show that today. It's a game that's just absolutely amazing. It shows the great attacking strength of Argentine Grandmaster Miguel Najdorf, originally from Eastern Europe, migrated to Argentina during the beginning of World War II. Great player. You may recognize his name from the variation of the Sicilian defense to Najdorf. That is Grandmaster Miguel Najdorf. He is playing Grandmaster Kluxberg, and this is around mid-early 1930s. It's one of the greatest games ever played, and if you see it once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times, it's just amazing to watch. So let's get started. It's a d4 opening, pawn to d4, and Miguel Najdorf plays f5. It's going to be a Dutch defense, c4, knight to f6. Excuse me, knight to f6, knight to c3, e6, knight to f3, d5, and e3. As you can see, this is a typical Dutch defense, stone wall with the formation of the light pawns on the light squares. Black plays c6. White plays bishop to d3, developing his bishop. Black does likewise. Bishop to d6. In the Dutch, normally what happens is that black is fighting for the e4 square, and white is fighting for the e5 square. So there's a big battle going on right now in the center of the board. White castles. Now black castles. Those of you who have never seen this game, you're in for some amazing things coming up here. White plays knight to e2. Kind of unusual in the Dutch. It looks like what white's trying to do is bring his knight over to the king side and start a king side attack, because in the Dutch the f-pawn is pushed, thus weakening the king side pawns, that protects the king. Black played knight on b to d7. Najdorf is just developing his pieces. And then white went knight to g5. Now we all can see how this loses a pawn immediately for white. I guess black just wanted to complicate things. I'm not a grandmaster, but I probably wouldn't have done that myself. You all can see the pawn that's going to be lost for white. His bishop takes h2, check. Now how does that not lose the bishop? Well, if the king takes the bishop, the knight comes here to g4 with check, and when the king moves, the black queen takes the white knight. What Kluxberg did was move the king to h1. Interesting move. I probably would have taken my lumps and take the bishop and then be down a pawn, but he decided to go to h1, and you can see what's going to happen from here. Knight to g4. White went f4. Basically what this does, it defends the white knight on g5, and it also cuts off the escape for the dark squared bishop. That was the point of the f4 move. Queen to e8. Now what this does, this is bringing the queen into the attack. It's going to be coming on the queen side very quickly. You have a forward f-pawn, you have a knight here, a bishop here, a king. The poor white king is here, and the queen's coming very quickly. Could even be down the road. You could even do a rook left. There's a lot of things going on here. G3. Just trying to cement his position. Close in the dark squared bishop. Queen to H5. Bring that queen right into play. I'll tell you, if I was white right now, I'd be very nervous. King to G2. He wants to get out of the discovered attack from the bishop. Now, a move here, it's interesting. As you can see, white's dark squared bishop did a really good job of getting the king to move around, and a lot of the black's pieces are now on the king, but in a weird way, the bishop is kind of in the way. Black, of course, wants to check and do some serious damage to white, but the bishop is in the way. So what do you do? Well, what he did was really amazing. He put the bishop right there. Now you'll see what happens if rook takes. The queen will check and also mate. So the rook can't take. So the knight takes. Knight takes bishop on G1. And of course, black checks on H2. King has no choice, has to go to F3. Now look at this position for a moment. You got an advanced knight and a great outpost with a pawn guarding the knight. You got the queen right in the middle of enemy territory. You've got the white king now really exposed. This is really, really going to be tough. How do you break through? How do you get to white's king? There's just too many defenders. Najdorf went E5. An amazing, amazing move. D takes E5. Knight on D takes E5 check, bringing another piece into the attack and sacrificing it at the same time. What he's trying to do, he's trying to break down white's defenses. This pawn is very helpful. There's a rook on this file, so he throws away another piece. F takes, and the knight recaptures on E5 check again. So you sacrifice the bishop, you sacrifice the knight. King goes to F4. Where else can he go? He can't go here because of the pawn, and the knight here because of the pawn. He can't come down because of the queen, so that's the only move he has left. Knight to G6 check. Look at this poor white king. He can't take, he can't come here, he can't come here, he can't come here. He has to go to F3. But it looks like maybe the white king is escaping. So what do you do now? How do you expose the white king? Well, you just sacrifice again. F4. And in my notation here it has a double exclamation point. What does this do? It exposes the white king. You're going to take, you're going to take. The rook's going to get into the attack now. This light square bishop is now released. It's amazing, truly amazing. E takes F4. Pawn takes pawn. Now, what does black do here? It looks like he might have his problem solved. He's got his bishop to help him. He's got his pawns here, his queen. And it looks like he might be able to get away. How do you draw the white king out? Bishop to G4. You sacrifice another piece. The king's in a very tough spot. He's going to get mated very soon. He has to take. Knight to E4 check. You sacrifice another piece. Now, let's look at the check here. King can't move here, can't move here, 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 or here. White has no choice but to take the sacrificed knight. Now let's look at this for a moment. Black has sacrificed 1, 2, 3 minor pieces. And there's one move left here. One move left in the game. Can all of you see the winning move for black? It's a one move mate. I like these kind of mates too because they're kind of neat. Where can you check the white king? Can't check it with the queen because it'll be taken. The rook can't check, so how do you check the king? H4 mate. I love pawn mates. They are so cool. They really are. That lowly little pawn sitting up here mates the white king. King can't move here, 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 or any of these because of the black rook. The white king can't come here, here because of the queen, and the white king can't take the pawn because the queen is guarding it. A pawn mate. I love pawn mates. Sacrificing 3 pieces. Truly, truly an amazing game, an evergreen game. Even if you've seen it before, I hope you enjoyed it again. And if you think that chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, folks.